Welcome. This is Sam Eric Ruttman, and welcome to the Hotel Tech Talk. I'm joined today by Jayanth Kolla from Bangalore, and I'm based in Helsinki. Hi, Jayanth.
Hello, Sam Eric. Good evening.
Good evening, and it's very good to connect with you again after Malta. And I really learned a lot from our initial talk about blockchain, and we decided, well, I think we can get on a roll and share with the viewers more about the emerging technologies. But before we start with that, Jayanth, do you want to just briefly introduce yourself and what is your background?
Right. So I'm Jayanth Kolla. I've been running this research and consulting firm called Convergence Catalyst. We are emerging deep technologies, focused research and consulting firm. We focus a lot on, the emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, robotics, blockchain, and we help companies in their digital transformation journey. We track the technology and the industry trends. We help companies put together their, product roadmaps, business strategies, go-to-market strategies, and how to adopt these technologies to improve their offerings, improve the value that they offer to their customers and consumers. So, that's in brief what we do.
Excellent. Well, that's exactly what is very good now, because I always thought that the hotel industry is really behind the curve, and we are still running a lot of things on manual basis, and there's a lot of data breach going on. Some huge data breach has been going on from the world's largest hotel companies. So clearly, we still have a long way to go. But let's start maybe with a topic which you can start to peel off layer by layer. What really can be done to improve the customer experience through the digital technology, and maybe not only for the hotel, but from the customer journey point of view. He's basically traveling from point A to point B. So, Jayanth, do you want to get started with your views on this?
Yes. So, if you look at a potential customer in the travel and tourism industry, a lot can be done using the existing technologies or a convergence of an array of existing technologies to improve the customer's experience and what they experience during their travel. And it all starts from from the beginning, where the customer is sitting at his laptop and and is searching for a place to visit. I mean, this is in case if he's going on a holiday or a vacation, right? So there is a lot of data and information that the customer voluntarily provides to various stakeholders in the travel and tourism industry. From booking his flight tickets to his hotel to the destinations that he wants to visit, and also what kind of trip is he on? I mean, is he on a business trip or a family vacation or a solo trip, right? So all this information that is provided by the customer voluntarily, can be used, under the data privacy and GDPR regulations, can be used to essentially provide a seamless experience and a wow experience for the customer, right? In terms of right from impacting their decision making to identifying potential opportunities for growth for the various stakeholders in the travel industry, to improving the overall performance. I mean, imagine a traveler or a customer, books his or is looking to book his tickets. I mean, he goes to TripAdvisor for ideas for a place to visit, right? Even right from that point, right, his decision making can be impacted, and he's leaving a lot of breadcrumbs in terms of what he wants to achieve, right? And when he books his flight tickets, he offers certain preferences. When he books his hotels, he offers certain preferences. All these preferences can be very simply, to start with, stored and acted upon when the customer enters the airport and or into the flight and the hotel itself. You know, right from getting his room ready by the time he gets into the hotel, because that information is being provided. I mean, there is no reason why the customers need to wait in the hotel lobby for 10 or 15 minutes for check-in. The entire check-in process can be made seamless, right? The identification papers or the documents that ought to be provided during check-in, all that can be digitized and taken upfront to entirely make the check-in process seamless. And in case of repeat customers, in case of hotels, right? I mean, they already provide their verification documents once during the first time that they check in. There is no reason why the hotel needs to keep asking them over and over again, making
Yes.
making it a a, a, a not so great check-in experience. So data analytics itself, I mean, right from collating the data to recognizing the various patterns and deriving various patterns and insights and acting upon them. Data analytics itself could play a huge role in providing seamless experience for the customers. And then couple that with machine learning algorithms where sentiment analysis or intent analysis can be done by these algorithms, depending on what the customer wants to do. I mean, if he's checking certain TripAdvisor reviews, right, or some YouTube videos about the place he's about to visit, what do the comments on those YouTube videos say, and how will it impact his decision making? That sentiment analysis, that intent analysis can be done. Okay, and recommendations can be provided to the customers. Saying that, okay, if he's checking out a lot of, let's say, historical places to visit, at the place of visit, then upon his landing at the airport, messages can be sent to his phone, or upon his check-in to the hotel, various discounts can be offered for entry tickets, for tour packages, for certain type of visits that he wants to do to certain destinations. It could be historical places, museums, nightclubs, certain kinds of restaurants. All these information about the traveler and customer, is being provided by him voluntarily.
Yes.
And there is no reason why various stakeholders in the travel and tourism industry, make use of this data that is being provided voluntarily and offer a seamless experience.
So the key is really that the traveler or the customer already know in advance what information he will give out on a volunteer basis. So that's one of the keys.
Correct, and that's one of the keys. And if let's say certain recommendations on adjacent areas can also be provided. I mean, if he's wants to visit only historical places, that certain let's say musical or certain shows or certain orchestras or certain plays are happening in certain theaters around the history of that particular region, right? Those tickets or those plays can be recommended.
Yes.
Or certain other things, for him to try out, can also be recommended. And then if you look into the hotel room itself, Internet of Things, this particular technology, which uses a combination of hardware, software, and analytics algorithms in almost equal measure, can offer a much more seamless experience. I mean, while he's checking into the room, right, his phone can act as a key to the room itself, and then various electrical and electronic appliances, including a TV, a kettle, or AC, the curtains that draw automatically and close electronically, right? All these can be controlled, can be set and configured as per the customer's liking and preferences. Okay, and those can be retained for the duration of its stay, and then can be retained by the hotel's digital repository for his next visit, so that he gets that seamless experience. There is no reason why multiple devices in today's day and age, multiple electrical and electronic devices require multiple remotes and switches.
That's right.
All of that can be converged into a smartphone, which the customer or the tourist is already, or a traveler is already carrying it on his person,
Yeah.
right? And that in itself can can offer a seamless experience, and Internet of Things can play a huge role there.
But so basically, what you're saying, Jayant, is that the technology is basically here.
Yes, technologies are here today.
Yeah. Now, but then of course it is the if you're looking at on the large travel companies and the large airlines, I think they are investing into this. When we are looking at hotels, they are still. What do you think the hotels are not picking up on this? Is it the investment issue, or is it the supply issue, or is it still that there's still a huge educating process before things can be simplified in the understanding from the hotel side that this can be incorporated? Because it's obviously a matter of time, but I think that if I look at hotels, I think they still don't fully comprehend. They're thinking it as a huge cost factor, which worries them a lot. What is your thought on that?
I think it's a combination of things, Sameric. It's a combination of knowing or awareness or lack of it, education, understanding, motivation. Not cost is definitely an issue, but I would say it's comfort zone as well. I mean, all the hotels especially currently are using certain PMS softwares or HMS, hotel management softwares, which are legacy, and they are fairly comfortable with it. Adopting any new technology or new solution has a certain amount of learning curve attached to it, right? Although it's seamless and it would make their potential customers' life and experience extremely seamless and wow, there is a certain amount of learning curve and training involved at the hotel staff end, right?
Yeah.
So that is another issue. And on the supply side as well, unfortunately there doesn't exist a single player who offers these solutions end to end, right? I mean, that's also a problem for the hotels. Who do they approach? I mean,
yes.
They don't want to deal when it comes to technology solutions. They're a non-core technology industry. They would want to deal with one player who would offer this solutions end to end in a seamless manner, instead of dealing with 4 or 5 different vendors and again getting their solutions to work with each other. I mean, they don't. The hotel industry doesn't want to take the headache. I mean,
no.
If anyone on the technology side in the technology industry offers them a seamless, completely packaged solution, I'm sure the hotels would be ready to adopt. Unfortunately, on the supply side, there don't exist too many players who are doing that as well. But it's a combination of things. I would imagine it's a comfort level with the existing solutions and unwillingness to change them. Some cost issue, some lack of awareness issue, and apprehension on how whether they will stay in the future or not. And most importantly, the supply side not being not having that end-to-end seamless supplier solution provider is also an issue.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's basically you basically painted a very rosy picture, but also a little bit of a bleak picture, because we still
practically, yes. I mean, the some of the issues that we discussed right now are the practical issues, right?
Yes.
The picture is rosy in terms of what the technologies here and today can do and have the potential to do, but practically we're seeing a completely different picture. That's because of some of the issues that we just talked about.
But now for the viewers, now I hope for you, because this is going to be featured on our the YouTube channel. So any questions that you have, please write them down on the comments, and at our next episode we will take a few minutes to answer your questions, and in that way we can have a rolling conversation with you So, first of all, I think my first question would be, what do you think about this? What would be the kind of topics would you like to know more about? Because Jayant is he's the master hacker in technologies and emerging technologies. I come from the hospitality side. Challenge us with your topics, because we love to be challenged and give you sort of some great value, and because we really appreciate that you're taking the time to view our show. And since this is the first, we're looking forward to do quite a few of them in the future. Jayant, anything you want to add on to this?
No, I think you summed it up extremely well, Sam Eric. Yeah, I mean, would love to hear feedback, questions, and also suggestions for topic for the next few interactions and discussions. Would love to tackle them.
Okay, on that note, let me thank on behalf of Jayant and myself, thank you very much for viewing, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next episode.
Thank you.